Yes, people, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to KGX to the ZTV. Another preseason game, another Chelsea fan base meltdown. I've seen tweets about worrying signs, about Xabi Alonso out, all types of bullshit. But folks, it's preseason. I've seen this club run through preseasons undefeated like we did with Poch and end up finishing sixth. I've seen us lose every preseason match under Mourinho and end up walking the league. Results don't matter. The only thing that matters is fitness levels, no injuries. And today we got some minutes for some players who just joined that are going to be a part of this team. Quenda, Danny Welbeck. Who else got some minutes today? The youngsters got some minutes. Lavia got some minutes. Caicedo started and got about 60 minutes. So, folks, like it's nothing at all to worry about. Players have been joining at various different times because of World Cup commitments and coming back late, depending on how far their countries advanced in the World Cup. Right? Still haven't seen Reese. Still haven't seen Enzo. Sanchez came back today. Penders came back today. So, folks, like what do folks expect when you just start throwing in a mishmash of people who have probably not trained together more than one or two sessions, still learning Javi Alonso's systems and his patterns of play and how he wants to play. Still haven't seen, like I mentioned before, Enzo, Reese, Lacroix, people that are probably going to play major roles within this upcoming season. So, folks, like, what do we think? Do we expect that we throw in a Quenda and all of a sudden him and Jao Pedro are going to be on the same page, right? One of the earliest exchanges in the game, Quenda beats his man, tries to play a 1-2 with Jao Pedro, and his pass is a little off. Folks, it's going to happen. Like, it's what the preseason is there for, to actually gain some cohesion, to gain some familiarity with each other in a semi official environment, aka a preseason match, where the results aren't too bad. And they really, in the grand scheme of things, don't matter. I've seen Leeds pack up Liverpool. I've seen Aston Villa catch an L. I've seen all types of teams. Man City look bang average. But of course, us being Chelsea Football Club, crash outs, sell this player, sell that player, sell, get the manager out. What are we doing? Folks, we haven't even played with a back five yet, which most of us will probably, gun to head, will probably assume that that's what we're going to play. We've played with a flat four, obviously, on paper, and then as things play out, in possession, out of possession, shit changes. But just chill, folks. Like everything is not worth the crash out. We know there's a lot of outgoings. We know there's players in the team that played today. Nico Jackson, that's not going to be here. Delap's probably not going to be here. Sapayev's probably going to be out on loan. It is what it is, folks. Like, just look at look at the minutes, look at the fitness. Long journey, right? Some of those guys, Danny Welbeck, even though his match fitness is okay because he played preseason with Brighton, still jet lag probably from leaving England, flying all the way halfway across the world to Hong Kong or Indonesia, wherever the fuck we played at today. Another terrible pitch, by the way. Ball bouncing all over the place, but it is what it is. I guess that was just American pitches that people complain about, but it is what it is, folks. But just a couple standout players I thought, or guys I thought that put in really good shifts today. Quenda, first time we've seen Quenda in a Chelsea shirt, very lively. Shooting was a little off and wayward, had a couple shots blocked, but consistently beat his man, consistently put in good crosses into the box. Beat his man on the outside, beat his man on the inside. So if you want to compare him to the likes of Pedro Neto, much more multifaceted in the way he attacks, not as one dimensional. I thought his link up with Palestra was fantastic. I thought Palestra again going forward, just fantastic. Defensively, to be honest with you, Palestra didn't have much to do today. Neither side really created too many chances. Juve definitely created the better chances and things like that, but defensively, I didn't think we were too terrible. Of course, at times we were a little open on transition, but Palestra, just to get back to Palestra, on the ball going forward, he is fantastic, both in his passing, both in his ability to beat a player 1v1, whether it's going inside and cutting in on his weak, supposedly weaker left foot, or going down around the outside and sending crosses in. He just looks very, very, very good on the ball. I've seen some people say that the likes of, comparing him to Marcus Alonso. I mean, he's better in terms of he's faster. He probably obviously doesn't have the technique when shooting that Alonso did. But to be honest with you, not many left backs in world football over the last 15 years do. But just fantastic, just going forward. That partnership looked a little bit better today than I thought the Esteval Palestra partnership. Just from a defensive standpoint, attack wise, both of those guys, even Esteval today when he came on, still looking very dangerous at times. Although my one criticism, and this is something that I saw in his game last year too, is he has a bad habit of just holding on to the ball for a second too long. He needs to release it. He needs to play quick 1-2s. He needs to get the ball out of his feet. And look, I get it. He's a player that's so talented and has been so far ahead of his age mates that he's used to just doing everything with the ball at his feet and dribbling guys and beating guys 1v1 and being dangerous and things like that. But he's got to get that out of his game. And if he once he does and he trusts his teammates a little bit more, he'll be so much better, and the team will be better too. I thought Welbeck and João Pedro had some nice little link ups. Obviously, like João Pedro was kind of playing like a little bit behind him in a supporting striker, advanced 10 role or in a 10 role. But it was nice to see those two out there. I thought Welbeck had a couple opportunities to shoot from distance. Same with João Pedro. Maybe just be a little bit selfish, but I get it. I get it. Especially with Welbeck, he's coming to a new team. He probably wants to get his teammates involved a little bit and things like that. So I'm not worried about those two. They'll be fine. They'll be fine and much better options than what we had. Gittins on the left side, people were crashing it on him, especially in the group chat. I don't get why. We played primarily down to that right side or through that right side. He had a couple opportunities where he kind of broke free and used his pace, his acceleration, and his craftiness when dribbling. But overall, it was pretty quiet. But some of that too, I think, is just down to Hato not having a traditional overlapping left back on that side to give you, to take that defender away. Definitely hurts Gittins and leaves Gittins more on an island. But conversely, you get a little bit more of the defensive duties with Hato, right? A little bit quicker, much better 1v1 defender, which kind of ties back to him and like that hybrid role, right? Is he really a left back, or is he more of a left-sided center back in a 3, or is he even a left center back in a 4? Don't know. I mean, but at the same time, the price point we paid for him, his age, his development, his athleticism, which is off the charts and something that we definitely need. I'm not worried about Hato. I'm not worried. I'd like the fact that we got this other guy in too to push him, give him a little bit more experience, right? I don't think any player in this team, apart from Caicedo, has a locked on position. Maybe Colwell too, in terms of, all right, don't need to push them. They are as good, they are as good as you can get when it comes to that particular position and how you can upgrade them. You need to push them, right? Even at the best of times for Chelsea, we used to push players, Drogba's, Lampard's, Balak's, not so much JT, but we definitely did buy some center backs back in the day too, like Alex and those kind of guys, Ivanovic, Cahill and stuff. But you need to keep pushing these players, push them and hopefully the competition makes them better. I thought Sanchez was decent, made a couple of decent saves. I thought cross collection was a little shaky at times, but just that's what you're gonna get with Bob. With his feet today, wasn't terrible, wasn't great. I think just an average performance from him. First time back from his supposed injury, so we'll see what's going on with him. The center backs, Tosin wasn't bad today. Thought he was pretty good on the ball. Defended okay. Fafana, same typical kind of Fafana performance, like not bad at times. Physically, he's okay. Just mentally and building out from the back a couple times where he hoofed it long instead of trying to pick a pass. I get it though, because you know, worst case scenario, safety first and things like that. But um, folks know my thoughts on Fafana. I would love to get rid of him, but I understand 200K a week. It's hard to move on a player like that with an injury history like that. Even though he stayed relatively injury free for at least what 18 months to 2 years now, so not too bad. But midfield, I thought Caicedo was pretty good. Had a really nice chipped ball over the top for Palestra that Palestra should have squared to Gittins, but he didn't. He took the selfish route. But other than that, I thought Caicedo looked pretty sharp for his first minutes since the World Cup. The young kid, I always call him Jazzy. Next to him, 16 years old. I mean, he's very promising. Very cool on the ball, very calm on the ball. Uh, Not afraid to get on the ball, which is what you want to see out of your midfielders, especially at that young age. Obviously, physically, he's got to develop and things like that. And there was times positionally where he was caught a little bit too far from Caicedo or a little bit too advanced, and they played it by him or played it through his area. But you're going to get that. I mean, he's 16 years old. Like no one's expecting him to even be around the first team. Obviously, too young to go out on loan, but it telling signs that Xabi Alonso kept him and sent a lot of the other kids home. Reggie Watson, Reggie Walsh, Kavar McQueen, and things like that. And it could be down to the midfield numbers, right? No Enzo, Lavia, no Reece James there as well. And then selling Santos. So maybe it's just a numbers thing. Maybe that's why. Maybe I'm looking too much into it. But I like the look of that kid. I think he's gonna be pretty good. Substitute wise, second half when we made some changes, um, Sapayev was pretty quiet. Who else? Sar I thought was actually pretty decent on the ball. Anselmino got called out for the goal, jumped up, didn't win the duel. They played it down to where he was as the left sided center back, left back. And then Sar comes over to shuffle. They pass it in, they cut it back, and the Juve guy, I forget what his name is, but scored a banger. Nothing Penders could do. So Penders was on at that time. Didn't have much to do apart from that. Had a couple decent cross collection opportunities that he handled, which you would expect for a 6'7" goalkeeper, but wasn't tested too much. Neither was Sanchez, to be honest with you. It wasn't like they were peppering our goal or just creating chances at will. But thought Sar was okay. Young kid came on and played center back. Was I forget what his name is, but he wasn't too bad. Esteval looked dangerous at times when he came on, but again, holding on to the ball just a little bit too long. Nico Jackson, I mean, that was a vintage Nico performance. Like in a real game, he probably would have drawn at least two yellow cards. But once he gets in and around the box, like we had an opportunity where we pressed high, won the ball back, they passed it to him, and then his first touch was so awful. He was caught flat-footed, and we ended up not getting an opportunity out of it, even though we had like two or three guys in the box to their two. But that's what you're gonna get with Nico. You're gonna get that, good link-up play, doing all the dirty work, pressing well, but just final third, he's just going to let you down. So, like I said, I don't expect him to be in and around the squad this year. Hopefully, he gets sold to Villa or Spurs. But typical performance for him. Delap, I mean, just typical Delap wrestling. Not creating any opportunities, not getting on the end of opportunities, just doing what Delap does. And the sooner we can get rid of that guy, the better it is for all of us, even including himself. Like he's got to be looking at a Welbeck coming in, Nico Jackson coming back, and just saying to myself, "Yeah, bro, my days are numbered." Everybody says they want to stay and fight for their place. Not many players do. Not many players do nowadays. Kids want to play. Folks want to play, and he's still at that age where he needs to be playing, and he's young. He's homegrown, English. There'll be a market for him. It's just how much do Chelsea want to cash in on him? What's the right deal? Is it 40 million? Is it 35 million? I'd get my money back and then throw a sell-on clause and say be done with him. But you know what time it is with the lap. Who else came on? Mudryk. Mudryk got one of the loudest ovations. Came on. Um, Nico Jackson actually was subbed off early, and it came out after the match that um, he was okay with being sub and actually volunteered so Mudryk could get on. Xabi Alonso had an interesting point about it, saying that not only did Mudryk need like minutes development, but it was also like an emotional decision. So, you know, folks' opinions and even my opinions are already set on Mudryk in terms of his future at this club. But on a human aspect, it was nice just to see him get back out there because 18 months away, 20 months away, whatever the actual number was, that's a long time, man, for somebody that needs to be playing, for somebody that generally has a passion for the game. So it was nice to see him out there. Like I said, hopefully his future gets sorted out relatively soon and he can make a move. But I'm not opposed to him playing in the preseason. It's not like we have a host of left wing options right now that he's taking minutes away from. It's either Gittins or him until Morgan Rogers comes. Unless you want to play Quenda on the left, unless you want to play Esteban on the left and just see what you have. But I'd rather play those two in the positions that they're going to be mainly playing this year at. So those two were you know, Mudryk was decent, had a couple opportunities, couple moments, but didn't have too much time to actually do anything. But look, apart from that, I mean, it was just business as usual. Just get some minutes, get some match fitness up, burn some calories, do some cardio. No one gets injured, and then we move. Right. Speaking of injuries, no Colwell today, no Cole Palmer today, which you wanted to see because Juventus kind of sat low in like a mid to low block, but they had fitness issues or minor concerns, nothing that's major. So we just held them out for precaution. But I'm okay with that. Safety first, especially with Colwell coming off of ACL, and then even with Cole Palmer, pretty much last year being, suffering from a growing injury until 2/3 into the season where he finally got healthy, but still, wasn't at the level that we expect him to be at or we demand him to be at if we actually want to achieve anything. So more of the story, folks. Don't panic. It's a lot of change, a lot of chopping and changing. Squad still being added to, taken away in terms of transfers and things like that. So we'll see. We'll see. I think we got Milan next on the weekend. Looking forward to it because just want to see the players out there. Hopefully, we get another few additions that come in by then. By then, the left back Pep Chavaria should be here. Maybe Morgan Rogers, maybe Enzo, although they probably won't join until after the Milan game. But we'll see, folks. But no, hit that like button, hit that subscribe, and we'll see you at the next one. Peace.